TikTok wants us to make money. Like, what are y'all missing? Okay, y'all. It's Alicia, your favorite millennial mom, and I'm here to bring y'all some real insight on going live on TikTok and monetizing. This video is for you. If you've been thinking about really putting energy into TikTok, I'm your girl. I got all the deets for you. Come on back. Get your coffee or your tea. We're drinking tea today. Can y'all believe it? And I got some tissue. Okay, so I decided to start going live July 11th, 2025. So this year. At first, I used to scroll through TikTok like the rest of us and would like past lives. So I'm like, what is all this going on? It would either be people hollering at the screen, yelling at people things to do, or it would just be people sitting there, or it would be like mukbangs. And I was like, what would be my thing if I was to give it a try? Then I learned after just all my research on how to grow here on YouTube and on TikTok was going live really pushes you out. So it puts you in different audiences, which gives you more opportunity to grow. So I was like, okay, like I really want to build this community, right? Like, but I also am interested in getting monetized. Like, how can I get monetized without the 10,000 followers? So those of you who are new here, YouTube has their own set of monetization rules, and so does TikTok. So for TikTok, to be in a creator rewards program, you need 10,000 followers. But if you don't have 10,000 yet, I'm almost there. We're going to say yeah, because we're going to get 10,000 by the end of the year. We're almost at 6,000. So I feel like I can do it. I can do it. You can monetize going live. And to go live now, you don't have to have 1,000 followers. Did y'all know that? You don't have to have 1,000 followers. So there are some stipulations. So you have to go live 3 times within 1 week for 30 minutes or more. So I highly recommend going live, because if you don't have 1,000 followers yet, going live will build your audience like this. I promise you. And not just going live, but also supporting and engaging in other people's lives. Okay. So step number 1, go live. Just do it. I know it sounds small, but just do it. Number 2, okay, do a practice live. When I say just go live, I say that lightly, but you should do a practice live. So you could go in and play around with all the buttons and maybe just do one and don't announce it to your like audience. And if you have under 1,000 followers, you don't have a huge following yet. And when I say that, it's no disrespect. It's not. But I mean that as in like you have people that engage with you, probably like your content, share content, but like not enough maybe that are like really checking for you yet. But once you go live, they will be. They will. You'll create your own crew, your own community. Like we have the Brew Crew, right? My girls and my guys who come and show up for me almost every morning at 9 a.m. and they make coffee with me. We chit chat. We have different themes per day. So anyways, so number 2 is do a practice live and maybe do a test run. Don't overcommit yourself right out the gate. Okay, so let's talk about the money. We're going to talk about some of the other things. Let's talk about the money. Okay, so you do get monetized when you start going live. Now, one thing I have to clarify for me and you is some of the difficulty with understanding diamonds, fragments, in correlation to coins, which equals money. Okay, so we get TikTok payouts every Wednesday as a live host. So it goes through a PayPal account, you get your money, right? So you could either, of course, have auto deposit, or you can recharge the money that you earn and get more coins to be able to spread the love for other live hosts. But it can be lucrative. Now, some of the things that I learned as I've been a live host is actually checking your stats while you're live. I didn't know that at first. So there's a little house at the top of your screen where you can see how long you've been on live, how much money you're making so far, how many people have started following you, how many views you got. And it's so helpful. It could be a little addictive. I'm gonna be honest, because it's like, not that you're like trying to make like, all this money in 5 minutes, but it's like, you want to see that like the energy that you put into it. And I'm a live host that actually like plans out my content. I don't just sit on camera and do engagement lives, which are nothing wrong with those, because I've gained a community from supporting engagement lives. But I actually create like content for my lives, which works for me. I know it's not for everybody, but I do. So it is a lot of energy. So I do like to see that what I'm doing works. Like if you're not looking at your analytics, then what are you really doing? Because you're still devoting your time that you could be doing 100 other things, I would assume. So since we're talking about money, like the focus is not about the money. Like I hate to break it to you. Like, yes, the money will come. And I'm not going to lie, it's nice seeing my deposits, but it's really about building community, and I pour into them and they pour into me. You get what I'm saying? And I really think it boils down to consistency. Once you have consistency, commitment, you build community and it adds value. It all just like circles. And when you bless others, you'll be blessed. And that's the one thing about TikTok Live that I am learning, and naturally as a natural giver, when you support and go into other people's lives and they show you love and support back. So I think that monetization is a motivator to grow, because you'll see that it's working. You get what I'm saying? But I do think paying attention to analytics, seeing what works, seeing what time frames work for you. And that's why I say right at the beginning, I wouldn't overcommit to a time. Like, okay, at the beginning, I went live Fridays at noon and it worked, right? But I was only doing 1 day a week, right? So I wasn't really seeing that much growth as in like building a community, or like growth as in monetization, or growth as in like whatever. Like I was still figuring it out the first month or so. Once I hit like mid August is when I was like, oh, okay, I get a vibe here. Like I was getting a group more following. People were like excited. When I wouldn't go on, people would message me like, girl, I was waiting for you this morning. I was like, you was? So that's when I added, now I go live 6 days a week. Yeah, y'all, 6 days. But I look forward to it. Like I don't feel like it's a job per se. um I enjoy it. I feel like if I didn't enjoy it, then I would cut back or like rearrange things. And there's been days where I like take my time on getting. I some days I don't. I'm not in the mood yet at 9 a.m. Okay, so I wait a few minutes. So that is my tidbit. Like go with your gut. Like this is not my full time paying my full time job, so it's not going to get my full time energy. But I do believe in you have to give a lot of your energy to get what you're eventually trying to get from it. Did I say a word? Did that make sense? Okay, y'all get where I'm going. Well, while we're still talking about money, some of the other benefits of monetization or going live is, especially once you qualify for the TikTok shop, is you could link shoppable products to your live. So once you hit 5,000 followers, which I have, every one of my lives is a shoppable live. And because typically I make coffee, tea, or food on camera. So I utilize my knives that are on my TikTok showcase. So you can add that. It's just a great way to be able to promote things. Like I said, the only catch 22 is you're not allowed. It's so many rules to TikTok live, but you're not allowed to show brands and things like that. But it is a great way to promote. So I often promote YouTube while I'm on there. I just say YT because they don't like you to use other social media app platforms on that platform. So you just have to be careful how you word it, but you could do it. You could do it. I've literally had people putting in their chat their YouTube channel names in the chat and have supported each other. Like I gained followers just from that. So I definitely think there's ways to still utilize sending people to other places you need them to go. I feel like if you're not doing that in all of your platforms, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Because it has to be somewhere you need them to go that's going to eventually hit the mark, right? So if you are selling a product or if you have a business, like sometimes social media is just solely for entertainment purposes, and that's fine too. But like if you're not guiding them to go somewhere else where you can monetize or where you're trying to grow even more, like so my TikTok family, I love them, but I also am trying to get them over here, if you get what I'm saying. Because if I got 5,000 people over here, I should have close to that here. I'm just saying. Okay, next, how to go live with confidence. So, naturally, I am very comfortable on camera. However, I was nervous my first live. Like, I wish I could go back and maybe I will add the clip here. I was so nervous. My cheeks was red. I didn't know what to expect. I felt like I had to duplicate or replicate what I had seen other live hosts do. I hadn't really seen a lot of live hosts or show hosts, some people like to call it, doing like content in their lives. I was only seeing like engagement lives. So I started mine out like, okay, y'all, okay, okay. So every gift everybody was sending me, I was like hooping and hollering, y'all, thank you for the rose. Look, look. And I still do little fun things with gifts because I do want people to feel like it's true. I appreciate you, okay? Because the reality is they're spending real money on you. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate it. So I try to announce every gift that comes to the room, but like I feel like the confidence comes naturally once you start building a community, and your community will hype you up. Your community will show up for you, right? One of the things that helped me gain confidence is having topics. So having topics for me helps because then I know where I'm kind of going with the whole, my hour that I do. I usually write some notes. Yes, I have notes. I usually have a theme. For me, that works because then it's like I know I can't really get off topic because I can always bring it back home to whatever the theme is. And I always put the theme in my live. So it'll be like a banner going on. So as people are scrolling, they'll see. So even if they don't come all the way in your live, they'll see what you're talking about. And if they want to engage in that type of conversation. And I think it helps people know what we're talking about. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people ain't going to sit in the live for a long time if they don't know what you're talking about. If you ain't talking about nothing and you just got music music playing and you just staring at the camera. You get what I'm saying? So I think building my confidence with going live, or building your confidence with going live, comes from having some type of organization. I know everybody doesn't do this, but I think having some notes and some reminders, especially your first like 5 lives, like reminders to say, don't forget to get your orange heart, tap the screen, share this out. Like, you don't want to be repetitive, but you want to do it. You also want to repeatedly, but not annoyingly, if that makes any sense, say your name. Say your name. And if you have a name like mine's, Alicia, that people often get incorrectly and say Alicia, I like to say it a lot. So then when people are on their lives and they might maybe shout me out, they say my name right. Okay? Say my name right. But anyways, so I think another thing is having an organized list, having a theme. Another thing that helps is having something to do. Okay, if you're really shy on camera, it might be best that you do a craft on camera, you cook on camera. You're doing something action related, maybe on your treadmill, whatever it may be, like showing something for your first 30 minutes instead of trying to just talk at the camera. Like, it's hard just talking if you're not a talker. And me being an only child, I can talk. Okay. I can talk. What else helps is engaging in people who come in your room. So repeating their names, asking them where they're from. These are all little key things. Like I said, my first couple lives, I would have a list of things to remember to do, like ask people where they're from, ask them to say hey. Like, and if one other person says hey, be like, don't be rude, say hey back. You know what I mean? So I think too, once people start looking for you, they'll naturally be engaging in your chat. Let's talk about the awkward moments, because there will be some crickets. Okay. As good as I am at this, and as much people that do show up for me, there's awkward moments. There's actually a moment that I realized I had recently where I was over it. Right? It wasn't an awkward silence, but I was tired of talking. I was tired of engaging. My social battery had ended. Okay. So those moments will happen. Don't be weirded out by it. Don't, like, for real. It's okay. Sometimes it's better to just acknowledge it. Like, be like, hey y'all, it's a little awkward in here right now. Let's chat. And it's easy. Like, use the word chat, and it makes them feel like they're a part of the crew. And eventually, when you have your people, you'll maybe come up with a name for them or something like that. Another way to engage out of the awkwardness is, like I said, introducing yourself again. Always have some things that you can share about yourself that maybe are super personal, but certain things that you wouldn't mind sharing. So it's okay if there's awkward moments. It's okay if you feel a little crickets. Maybe turn the music back up. Repeat yourself, because there's always people coming in and out. And don't forget, there are people that are watching from the FYP that haven't clicked in yet. Trust me, I've done it. Okay. I do it all the time. Sometimes before I want to go in, give my heart, me, spend my money, I like to see what they're talking about for a few minutes. Okay. So it's okay to have a little awkward silence, not too long, because if I am watching from the outside, debating if I want to come in, if I see you just staring there looking at the screen, I'm be like, girl, what we talking about? Okay. Okay, here are some live content ideas. These are my favorite things to give, because when I was a beginner, I didn't feel like nobody was really talking about content for lives. And maybe because I just didn't have a vision of being an engagement live host or solely a battle host. I wanted to create content that people feel like they're watching their show, right? Like how we do here. So my favorite thing is chat and sip. Mm. All of my lives revolve around usually me with coffee or tea, and we chit chat, right? But it's not just conversational. Like, it's motivational, inspirational, educational. Oh, okay with me with the nose. Okay, but anyways, what I'm saying is, like I said, have themes and topics. I usually have like points. Sometimes we do this or that. Sometimes we have games. Friday is usually my more like relaxed day. Like, it's more fun. And usually we do like themes like throwback and 90s and things like that. But I definitely think chat and sip is an easy one to just get you going and get people to get to know you, question and answers, things like that. Okay, another good one is like a behind the scenes, like for my remote girls like me. Like, this is a great thing that you can have your camera propped up and be working and talking about remote work and talk about all the pros and cons of corporate work. Like, people like to see that. If you're a gardener, people like to see like the hard things, like with weeds. I don't know. I'm not a green thumber, but you get what I'm saying. Behind the scenes, if you have a business, hello, if you have a business and you're not going live, what are you doing? Like, seriously. So I highly recommend showing people behind the scenes. So another good one, y'all, is a story time. Mm, everybody loves a little tea. Everybody loves a little tea. So I'll tell you this. So I usually will do a little story time sometimes. If you ever watch my lives over there on TikTok, a lot of times I'll end up with a story time when I'm trying to hit my 2 hour mark. So I normally do like an hour solid, and then sometimes my team will push me to do 2 hours, which I do love them for that. And I really could, like I really could. But I be trying to work too sometimes. But anyways, so sometimes I'll go into like telling like client stories, life stories, whatever. A good story time. Now, I don't know if that could be your sole base of your life, but I definitely think incorporating a good little juicy, a little story. Okay, another fun one is collaboration. So I love bringing people up on the stage. Now, I will never bring a stranger up again. I tried that one time. That was a bad idea. But I do think bringing like people from your community. So like my brew crew, this Saturday we did our first one where I had one of my girls come up, two of my girls, sorry, come up. One was making her coffee and the other one was making breakfast sandwich, and I was cutting up salad for a party. So that was fun. And it allowed me to not have to do all the work for that live. You get what I'm saying? Like having people come up. Another way to collab is if you want to share information, but somebody else is maybe more knowledgeable. That's a great way to collab. Another one is, of course, like the shoppable lives. Like I said, showcasing a product, but having the shop owner, the business owner come up on your live. I think that's a great way. And then when people see there's multiple people in the room, they're kind of interested, like what they talking about. You get what I'm saying? And another one of my favorites, which goes along with the chat and sip, is morning motivation. So I will say going live in the mornings is my favorite. My favorite. I'm a morning person. My energy is up in the morning. Mornings just feel good. And I think, and I could be wrong. I feel like my brew crew would agree to this is I help them get their day started, and it helps me too. Like it benefits us both. Okay, let's talk schedule. So like I said, at the beginning, I don't think you should stress yourself out having a set schedule, but I do think you should fill out different times of the day. Like mornings work for me, my audience, I see the growth, like it's working. So I have tested out an afternoon here and there that actually was good. I did an evening collab with my mom. That was fun. And that did, you know what I mean? Like you do fill it out, but you do want a set spot eventually. I would say by your maybe sixth or seventh live, you should kind of get in a rhythm of like a time of day that works for you. And then if you have to pivot because life happens, then do that. But I think it's fun for your audience to have an idea like, oh, I know at least you're gonna be live in the mornings. Let me get my stuff, let me get my coffee, let me drop the kids off. You know what I mean? Like I think it's fun for them to know that they can count on you to go live. And what I do is when I know that I can't, or if I know I'm gonna be late or something like that, I let my community know, like, hey y'all, tomorrow I might not be on at 9 a.m. sharp. I might not. Like a lot of times I'm not actually. It's been closer to 9:15 lately because it just feels like so much like I feel rushed when I get back from dropping everybody off to school. So I definitely think that having a schedule does help, and especially when you're a working from home mom or whatever it is you do. When we're juggling a lot of things, sometimes you just need things that's set in stone. And guess what, y'all? Like we talked about in the lockdown, it holds us accountable. When you say it out loud, it holds you accountable. And I utilize my stories there to kind of get people hype about my morning live. So every day, almost every day, I post a recap from my live. So it just gets people to be like, dang, I don't want to miss the next one. You get what I'm saying? So have a schedule that you can kind of stick to. And if you have to adjust it, adjust. Okay, your live setup. Now, I will say, as a live host that likes to have field trips, what I call it, where I move around in my house sometimes, I don't have the ideal background that I want yet because I don't know what I want it to look like yet. But mine is primarily at my coffee station, which you may have seen that before in other videos here. Long as you have good lighting, so have your ring light on, or if you do have a good kitchen light, or if you do yours in the bathroom, whatever it may be, long as you have good lighting, it's not too cluttery. Typically, if I'm at my desk facing this way, my audience will see my salon stuff, which is also fine. But I'm usually so close to it, you can't really see that much that's behind me. Long as it ain't like crazy looking behind you. You get what I'm saying? But I definitely think lighting, having a clean background. Of course, it helps when when you have a tripod or your camera is steady because it's a lot going on. Your comments and stuff going on the screens. There's banners. There's a lot. So you do need it to be stationary. Like I wouldn't recommend just leaning it on something. It needs to be on a magnet or in a tripod. I really love this new disc light that I have. This one, I really love that. That was a great addition. Also good audio. So like, sometimes I'm not gonna lie because I do like to play a little music. I have to ask my chat. I'd be like, hey y'all, is the music too loud? Like let me know. Because I just need a little background noise, just a little bit. But sometimes when we like talking, they be like, yeah, you can turn it down a little bit. Now I haven't experimented with my mic over there, but I do want to because I'm curious, like, does it really make a difference? I don't know. Also, another thing that could help with nerves, a part of your setup is having a mug or something in your hand or a pen or taking notes. Like I said, I always have a paper and a pencil because a lot of times my chat be giving me tea. Okay, when we talk about scriptures, when we talk about life, suggestions with vitamins, all kinds of things. So, like, I definitely think having a comfy setup. So, I tried a few setups at first. Like, I tried sitting in the kitchen. That was crazy. I tried sitting over here on my wall. It just, so my desk and my coffee area is the most comfortable I feel. I haven't tried, I wanted to do one sitting on my couch because the lighting is behind me. So, a simple, clean setup that makes you feel comfortable is important. So whether you're just starting out or ready to take your lives to the next level, this is your sign that there's so many ways to keep this going. Show up as you, connect first, and the monetization will come. Trust me, because mine's is coming. Okay, we on our way to pay our car note with TikTok live money. Okay, and then next is YouTube. Okay, if this helped you, give this a like, a subscribe, a comment, a favorite. I got more creator tips, more TikTok live tips, more all of the thing tips. Until next time, grab your mug, go live, let me know that you're going live, and it's your time to shine. It's our season, millennials. Cheers to us.